Last week, I bought 3 power banks from Amazon that were the best value for the money, and all of them had great ratings to boot. And now I'm going to give a review of their performance, what I like about them, what I don't, and whether or not I would recommend them. These are 3 power banks at 3 different price points that reflect the different levels of storage capacity and power. But these were the best priced power banks on Amazon for what they offered. In other words, this was the lowest priced power bank on Amazon that had 65 watts of power. This was the lowest priced power bank on Amazon that had 30,000 milliamp hours of capacity. So you get the picture. So here I'm showing you what the power banks actually look like and the boxes that they came in. I lined them up in the order of most expensive to the least expensive. This is listed for $49.99, but there's a 20% coupon, so I bought it for $40 plus tax. This is listed for $35.99, but there's a 20% coupon for this as well, so it cost me only about $30.50, and that price included tax. This one is listed for just $19.99. And surprise, I included another power bank that I didn't buy separately, but it came with an electric vest that I had purchased from Amazon. Power banks like this one can be bought for about $10. This JVGoal power bank is a nice small size and not too heavy, great for portability. It has a digital readout that shows how much charge is in the power bank. I love that. And it's got 2 USB output ports and a micro USB input port. And you click on it twice to turn it off. It came with a micro USB cable to charge the power bank. This Romos power bank is quite bulky and heavy. It's got 4 lights to give you an idea of the level of charge remaining in the power bank. It's got 2 USB output ports, a micro USB and a lightning port for input, and a Type-C port for both input and output. And that's all there was in the box. No charging cable. Stingy. That's what I've got to say about that. Some folks might like this because it's hefty, but I don't like that it's so heavy because I don't want to be carrying around heavy stuff. And bigger is not always better. This Basis power bank's got digital display to indicate charge remaining in the power bank. It's nice and slim. It's got 2 USB output ports, a Type-C port that can be used both for output, for putting out power to charge a device, and for input, for charging the power bank, and then a micro USB port for input. By the way, the 65 here refers to watts, and the 30 here refers to milliamp hours. So it's not like the white power bank has half of something compared to the blue power bank. And this came with a Type-C cable, which is great. And this is a compact, really small and light power bank that I'm really looking forward to testing to see how well it works. It's got 2 USB output ports and a micro USB input port. It came with a micro USB cable. So here's a table of their specs. And let me briefly explain what numbers I focus on when I'm trying to select a power bank to buy. The unit mAh tells you the capacity of the power bank. mAh stands for milliamp hours, and it quantifies the power bank's capacity for energy storage, or how many hours of current can be delivered from this power bank. To put it simply, it gives you an indication of how many times you can charge your device before the power bank runs out. W stands for watts, and it is a measure of electrical power. It quantifies the rate at which electric charge flows times the electrical force with which the electric current is driven. To put it simply, the wattage gives you an indication of how quickly you can fully charge your device and how big of a device you can charge. So you don't need a lot of watts to charge an iPhone, but you'll need higher watts to charge an iPad and even more to charge a laptop. So according to the seller provided specs, the Basis power bank is the most powerful because it's got the highest watts. And the Romas power bank can store the most charge because it has the highest milliamp hours. Shown at the bottom are the results of quick and dirty checks I did, where I tested how much charging of my iPhone was completed after half an hour for the Basis and the Romas power banks that I knew were more powerful from their specs. For the JVGoal and the other smaller power banks, I increased the charge time to an hour. I also noted how much charge was left in the power banks. The bottom line is that they all performed really well. Although the biggest surprise for me came from the smallest generic power bank, which not only outperformed the JVGoal power bank, but also gave the two bigger power banks a run for their money in terms of how quickly it was able to charge my iPhone. Of course, this little power bank can't store too much charge, so it could probably fully charge an iPhone 2 to 3 times at most. Now, which power bank you should get would depend on what you would use it for. If you're going to use it mainly to charge small devices such as your phone, then I would recommend JVGoal over the Romas. Why? Because it's 30% cheaper, it's much more portable. The Romas is just too big, bulky, and heavy for my liking. JVGoal's capacity is only slightly lower at around 25,000 milliamp hours versus 30,000 milliamp hours, and it's got an LCD display of how much charge is left. The Romas has just lights giving an approximate level of charge remaining, which I didn't like. If you really want a power bank with at least 30,000 milliamp hours, then go buy the newest model of Romas, which is pretty much identical to this one but has a digital display and costs a few dollars more. Now, I really wanted a power bank that could charge my laptop. In order to power a laptop, you cannot use a USB to Type-C cable. This type of cable just cannot accommodate the watts needed to charge a laptop. You need to have a Type-C to Type-C cable, which I bought separately from eBay. You need to plug in one end to the Type-C port on your laptop and the other end to the Type-C port on your power bank. I knew the power bank needed to have high watts to be able to charge a laptop, and since Romas had only 18 watts, I figured it wouldn't cut it, and my laptop promptly notified me that it wasn't working. Now the Basis power bank totally works. See the charging symbol right here? When my laptop battery was at 50%, it took 1 hour to fully charge it to 100%. But that also drained 50% of the charge in the power bank. So it seems that you can fully charge a laptop just once. The output is 1.4 amps at 20 volts. So it looks like you need at least 28 watts to be able to charge a full-size Dell laptop. By the way, A 2-pack of these 60-watt cables is being sold for around $5 with free shipping on eBay, which is like a steal. So I'm going to leave a link for it in the description box below. In conclusion, I would recommend the basis to folks who need a power bank to charge their laptop. The JVGoal for folks who need a light portable power bank that can charge small devices like a phone many times over. And a tiny lightweight power bank with 10,000 milliamp hours would be absolutely fantastic to carry around in your purse for emergencies.